It sure feels like summer out there already. And if you have a teenager, this might be the first year that they get a summer job and a paycheck.
Whether they're planning on working as a lifeguard or maybe serving at a restaurant, there are some rules they need to know before they get that first check. Ferguson Woman's Samantha Paolo joins us live on this Wallet Wednesday to talk about teen finances, what to know, and how parents can help. Good morning.
Good morning, Emily and Ken.
This is an exciting time for teenagers, you know, that first summer job, those first couple years of working. What are some things that teens and their parents want to think about when they're talking about jobs?
You're right. It's such an exciting time, and exciting for parents because this is the moment where, if they haven't already, they can start teaching their kids about responsible money management. The first thing to think about is developing a good savings habit early on. And a lot of times that's a little tricky for teens. So one trick for this is to automate savings. Many employers will let their teens sign up for direct deposit, and you can use multiple accounts, a checking and a savings, for example. So helping your teen develop a budget, decide how much they should be saving, and then use that direct deposit to put that right in the savings account, with the rest going to checking for their living expenses. It just keeps that money out of their pocket. It's a little out of sight, out of mind, and there's less chance that they're going to be wanting to spend everything that they're making.
Yes, and there's a tendency to do that. I mean, when you're a teenager, you're not thinking about long term when you retire and those kind of things. Some of the best advice I ever got when I started working was it doesn't matter how little you save, just save something and get into that habit. So, I mean, how do you get kids in the mindset where they do that?
That's exactly right, Ken. And I think because retirement is so far away, it's hard to have that feel like it's really worth doing now. But you said it, the key to successful retirement is to start saving early and often. It doesn't matter how much at the start. Every year, just like with the savings we talked about, help your kids open a Roth IRA, explore their retirement savings options through their employer, see if there's some matching opportunities there. And again, think about automating that. It might be through their direct deposit, through payroll deferrals, or an automatic transfer in their bank account. One other tip for parents, if you're really having trouble getting your child to make those retirement contributions, is to think about incentivizing them. If your budget allows for it, maybe you offer a matching contribution for every couple $100 they put into retirement, you will match that. That can give the kids that carrot they need to start doing that long-term retirement savings.
Oh, yeah, a little help from the bank of mom and dad to get some of that saving motivation going. Okay, let's talk about plastic, though, because we know that so many things these days are just right there with a swipe of a card. Should teens open a credit card? I would think that maybe you run the risk of running up those credit card bills. How can you do it the right way?
That's right. And I think that's often the fear of most parents, is that there's this perception that a credit card is free money and an endless amount of spending potential. But with kids in your home under supervision, this is really the right time to teach them about debt, teach them good, responsible debt habits, and start to establish that credit record. So I'm a fan of opening a credit card for our kids when they get their first job. And things like putting a recurring expense on that credit card and having your child budget for paying that off, so they get in the habit of looking at that balance and establishing a payoff plan. Teach them the difference between good debt and bad debt, high interest rate debt and low interest rate debt, and that anytime you're using debt, you need to have a plan for paying that off as part of your monthly budget.
Yeah, all of this is just great advice, and this is the time when you're a teenager to actually make sure that they get into those habits. Right. So we appreciate those tips for teens and their parents to help those kids out.
Well, for more financial, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. This is the time that you said is the bottom line. Teach them good money management now while they're with you, before they're off in the world and you don't have any transparency into what they're doing.
Absolutely. Exactly. So much easier to start off on the right foot. Samantha, thank you so much. Appreciate the advice.
And for more financial advice and money management tips, check out our previous Wallet Wednesday segments on KOIN.com. Just click on AM Extra.